शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாவிவ சம்பிருக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தயே जगदः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्री पार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमससुकृत् सुकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरनभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने. കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടും ഇറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഇതിനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു പ്രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കനായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the class. Okay, so we'll do a quick review of 17 and half of 18, and then we'll get into it. Hari, can you do 17? And Priya, can you do the 18 first few stanzas?
Yeah, sure.
Rajesh, 17th one, can you say the meaning here and copy?
Oh, sorry, what is it, Vidya?
17th, the opening shlokas, the meaning of the last one, care and copy.
I didn't understand what you're saying. We did
The
the
opening slokas you said right now.
அந்த கைரண்டும் கூப்பினேன் அப்படின்னு இருக்கோம்னா அதுக்கு அர்த்தம் கேக்குறா.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. See, it's a Malayalam slokam. So,
Oh.
maybe some Pramila or somebody can do it better by you. But I think Kai is hand, Rendum is two, Kupinyan is to holding it together. Then Neeraja Locha Ninnod, I mean I'm dedicated. Ninnod I means I'm becoming yours. Maybe Pramila, can you help me?
Of course, I can.
Go ahead.
Okay, so with folded hands, Neeraja Lojana means very beautiful eyed Krishna.
Yeah, that I know.
Okay, Ninnodai means I am praying to you with my folded hands. You know, the beautiful eyed one. Endinum Anyane means I don't have to depend on others for anything. Make me self-sufficient and independent, so that I don't have to depend on any others for any of my things. So take care of me in that way, like protect me in that way. And then Ridhil ni enne palikyanai means protect me that way, take care of me that way. And that's it. Krishna Hare Jaya, Krishna Hare Jaya. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it
Awesome.
correct, Rajesh?
No, I knew the general context, but I'm not the meaning of every word. So thanks, Pramila. Yeah.
That's okay, no problem. My pleasure.
Can you go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Dasakam 17. Uttana pada nirvadir manunandanasyam jaya babuva surusir nidarama bishta anya sunudiridi barduranatrudasam tvameva nityamaha disaranam kadabud.
Fourth line, first word, Twameva.
Tvameva nityamagadi saranam kadabud. Ange pidusurussi putradam uttamamdam drishtva trivakila sunudi sudodi roshyam आशिक्षिभे किल सुधारं सुरुच्यां दुस्सन्ध्यजा खलु पवत्विमुखैरसूया त्वन्मोहितपिदरिबस्यति तारवस्ये दूरं तुरुक्ति निगदास कदो निजाम्बां सभाभि सर्वगः स्वाभि स्वगर्ग स्वगर्मगति सन्द्राणाय पुंसां त्वत्पादमेव शरणं सिसवे ससंस आगर्ण्यसोऽपि भवदर्शन निश्चितात्मा मानी निरेत्य नगरात् किल पञ्चवर्षः सन्दृष्टनारद निवेदित मन्द्रमार्कः स्वत्वामारराद दबसा मधु गणानान्दे.
And the fourth line, and the is will go away in the fourth line beginning. It's Twama
Rarada Tabasa Madhu Kananandim Tadi Vishan Hriday Nagarim Kadena Srinaradana Parisam Vida Chitravrittau Balastavar Pidamana Kramavatidena Ninye Kadorada Basakila Panjamasan Davat Tabola Nirichvadi Se Tigande Devarti Tattva Mudayat Karnatra Sedaham Twatruba Chitra Sanilinamade Purastat Avir Babu Vida Vibu Garudadi Rudaham Twaddarsana Pradama Bharat Tarangidamdam Trikbayam Nimiknama Rubarasanaayade Dushtusham Manava Avagamya Kabola Dese Samsprishta Vanasida Darane Dadadarene
Darena Tatha Darena
Tadadarene.
And the second line, Hari, sorry, second line. Drigbyam Nimagnamiva Rupa Rasayanete.
दृक्यां निमग्नमिव रूपरसायने दे.
Yeah.
Okay. दावत् विबोध विमलं प्रणुवन्दमेनम् आभाषदास्वमवगम्य तदीय भावं राज्यं शिरं समुनुभूय भजस्व भूयः सर्वोत्वं ध्रुवपदं विनिवृत्तिहीनम् विद्युसिषित्वयि कदे निर्बन्धनोऽसौ आनन्दिदाखिल जनो नगरि मुबेदहं रेमे शिरं भवदनुग्रह पूर्णकामः तादे गदेश वनमातृस राज्यभारः यक्षेण देव निगदे पुनरुत्तमेऽस्मिन् यक्षैः निरदो विरदो मनुष्यः सान्द्य
Manupya.
Okay. विरदो मनुत्यां सान्द्या प्रसन्न हृदया तदादु भेदात् त्वद्भक्तिमेव स्त्रुडाम त्वद्भक्ति सुदृढाम् अवृणन्तु महात्मा त्वद्भक्तिमेव स्त्रुडां वृण्णोन्महात्मा अन्ने भवत्पुरुष नीदवि मानयादो मात्रा समं ध्रुवपदे मुदिदोयमास्ते एवं स्वप्रत्य जनबालन लोलधीस्त्वं वादालयादि पनिवृत्ति मामयोगान्त ममायोगान्त. Can I continue with 18?
No, I think 18 Priya is doing it.
Okay.
जातस्य ध्रुवकुल एव तुङ्गकरीतेः अङ्गस्य ज्वनि सुतसस्वेन नामा यद्योष व्यतीत मतिस राजवर्याः त्वत्पादे विहितमनात्मतं कतोऽत्युत पापोऽपि श्रुतिपतलपालनाय वेनः पौरात्रयी उपनिषदः कठोरवीर्यः सर्वोऽप्यो निजफलम् एव सम्प्रशनं सम्पूसक्रेतव यजनान्यं नरोसीत.
The third line, first word sarvebhyo.
Sarvebhyo.
Yeah.
Sarvebhyo. Okay.
And the last word of the third line, samprashamsan. Prashamsan.
Okay. Samprasamshan pusakre tava yajananyam nyarosit. Samprapte hita katanaya tapasauke mantonyo puvanapihi na kasyat neti tvantinta vachana paro munishwaraistaihi shapaknau shulapada sham anayivenaha.
Shalabha. And the fourth line, shalab. You should shulabha. Shalabha.
Shalabadasham. Tandashan kalajana biruhair munirtaihi tanmartara chari parishite tadange yakye dhate parimatitat adhoru tandat tortande parimatite
Virasihi. Third line, first word, tyaktage.
Yeah,
tyaktage.
Vikyata prutriti tapashobhatishtaih suthathair परिनुत पाविपूरि वीर्याः वेनात्या कप्पली सम्पदं तरित्रीम् आक्रान्तं निजननुषा समामकार्षिः.
I think that's where we stopped in.
Rajesh,
Ah.
is it Daritrinim or Daritrim?
In Daritrim im. Daritrim. It'll end with the im.
Im.
Im. The next word will become akrantam instead of makram.
Okay.
Rajesh, quick question. Dasakam 17, ninth stanza. Can you just say the first two lines?
Ityuchinshit tvayi gate nrupanandano sau anandita khilajano nagari mupetaha.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's start. Continue with stanza 6 of 18. So Madhavi Garu, you can be a student, and Sita Lakshmi, you can be a student. Stanza 6?
Rajesh, can I do the second part, please?
Sure, no worries. Let me see who else I had. Hema, you can be a student. Bhuyastam nijakula mukhya vatsa yuktaihi devadhyai samuchita charu bhajaneshu annadinya bhilashitani yanitani swachandam surabitanum aduduhastvam. So last time we saw the Prithu Charitram. We saw kind of the lineage of Dhruva. So we saw a person called Anga who came from the lineage of Dhruva. Then to him the son called Vena. And then Anga then left. Then Vena was a bad king. So the sages cursed. So Vena died. And then they churned out and two people came out of it, which was Prithu and Archi. So those were the two beings who came out there. So here, and then when Prithu, he starts and then he sees that the earth is not quite ready, nobody's utilizing it properly. So he does all the right things. And just like I said, stanza 6 was comparing a earth to Surabhi. Surabhi is Kamadhenu, which is a wish-fulfilling cow. So he says by taking care of the earth properly and teaching people how to do that, the earth in turn can return everything that you want that is required to survive, which is what is happening. So he's showing them the more organized cultivation, agriculture, and how to take care of the earth and to get the benefits out of it. Bhuyastam nija kula mukhya vatsa yuktaihi. Put a visarga there. Yuktaihi, comma. Next time there's a ir on top of de, that will go away. Devadhyehi. Put a is to join. Devadhyais samuchita charu bhaja neshu annadinya bhilashitani. It's one word, cannot break it. Annadinya bhilashitani yani tani, comma. Swachandam surabhi tanum. I'm just breaking at the ma, it will be easier. Tanum adudu hastvam. So the ma, I'm saying im and a there. Tanum adudu hastvam. Bhuyastam nijakula mukhya vatsa yuktaihi devadhyai samuchita charu bhajaneshu annadinya bhilashitani yani tani swachandam surabitanum aduduhastvam.
Bhuyastam nijakula mukhyavatsaयुक्तैः देवाद्यै samuchita charu bhajaneshu annadinyabhilashitani yani tani swachandam surabitanu maduduhastvam. Bhuyastam nijakula mukhyavatsaयुक्तैः देवाद्यै samuchita charu bhajaneshu annadinyabhilashitani yani tani swachandam surabitanu maduduhastvam.
Bhuyastam nijakula mukhyavatsaयुक्तैः देवाद्यै samuchita charu bhajaneshu annadinyabhilashitani yani tani swachandam surabhitatanu maduduhastvam.
That last one, surabhitanu maduduhastvam.
Swachandam surabhitanu maduduhastvam. Bhuyastam nijakula mukhyavatsaयुक्तैः देवाद्यै समुचितचारुभाजनेषु अन्नादीन्यभिलषितानि यानि तानि स्वच्छन्दं सुरभितनुमधुदुहस्त्वम्.
That's a 7. आत्मानं यजति मखैस्त्वयि त्रिधामन् आरब्धे शततमवाजिमेधयागे स्पर्धालुः शतमख एत्यनीचवेषो हृत्वाश्वं तव तनयात् पराजितो भूत्. So this Prithu Chakravarti, then Prithu, he ends up going and doing 100, he's done 99 Ashwamedha Yajnas, he does it, right? So when he's about to do the 100th one, like we saw in the Narayaneeyam Dasakam in Dasakam 17 episode, is anytime you do anyone, Indra here is called a Shata Maka in the third line. The Shata Maka means the one who has performed 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. So that, like I said, the Indra is like a title. It's a role. Different people take it. So anyone who performs 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas gets to take the title of Indra. They become the lord of the Swarga Loka. They become the ruler. So anytime somebody is approaching that, in the current Indra gets a little perturbed because, like he feels that next person is going to take over. So and Prithu does not have any intention of becoming the Indra. He's just doing it out of his devotion. So when he's about to do the 100, Indra now decides that, he has to come and interrupt that yajna. So, that's the first time. So Indra comes dressed up as a Nietzsche Veshos. He degrades himself by dressing up like a sadhu, but he's not. Right. So it's not like, we say Kali Yugam, all these sadhus are, people are evil, they're dressing up like sadhus. No, it happened long time back. Indra did it already. He was the first person to dress up like that. So he tricked the place. He comes over there and then he steals the Ashwamedha horse. So at that time, Atri, who is one of the sages, he sees that this is happening and that Indra has come and he's stealing that horse and going, and he sees Indra flying in the sky. So at that time, this Prithu's son is sent to go recover it back. But then he goes, he doesn't see Indra because he sees a sage. So he comes back thinking that nothing is happening. Then he's told again. Then finally he goes and he defeats Indra. Prithu's son goes and defeats Indra and brings back the horse. Atmanam yajati makhais tvai tridhaman. Put a in. Tridhaman, comma. Next, the narabde becomes arabde. Arabde shatatama vaji medha yage. Spardhaluhu, put a ish to join. Spardhalush shatamaka etya nicha vesho, comma. Hritvashwam tava tanayat parajito bhut. Atmanam yajati makhaistvai tridhaman arabdhe shatatama vaji medhayage spardhalu shatamaka etya nicha vesho hritvashwam tava tanayat parajito bhut.
Atmanam yajati makaistvai tridhaman arabde shatatamavaji medhayage spardhalu shatamakayetya nicha vesho hritvashvam tavatanayat parajito bhut. Atmanam yajati makaistvai tridhaman arabde shatatama medayage spardhalu shatamakayetya nicha vesho hritvashvam tavatanayat parajito bhut.
Atmanam yajati makhaiस्त्वयि tridhaman आरब्धे शततमवाजिमेधयागे स्पर्धालुष्यतमख एत्यनीच वेषो हृत्वाश्वं तव तनयात् पराजितो भूत्. आत्मानं यजति मखैस्त्वयि त्रिधामन् आरब्धे शततमवाजिमेधयागे स्पर्धालुष्यतमख एत्यनीच वेषो हृत्वाश्वं तव तनयात् पराजितो भूत्.
8. देवेन्द्रं मुहुर्ति वाजिनं हरन्तं वह्नौ तं मुनिवरमण्डले जुहूषौ रुन्धाने कमलभवे क्रतो समाप्तौ साक्षात् त्वं मधुरिपुमैक्षता स्वयं स्वम्. Although Indra was defeated, he still felt that he has to still fight back. So he then tries to again cast a rain and all of that, where this Ashwamedha Yajna was happening. It was trying to disturb it. So like we saw in this 18th Dasakam beginning, when we talk about where this Vena, at that time in those days, when they used to chant, they could bring a person in front of them. So these sages said to Prithu, don't worry, you don't have to worry about Indra trying to steal. We can chant things so that Indra will have to come in front of you. So we can literally bring Indra in front of you, and then we'll kill Indra itself, because they were getting very disturbed, because Prithu does not want to become an Indra, but Indra is trying to do all this. They said, we're going to chant things and bring Indra in front of you. So at that time, they do it. And but then Brahma has to intervene and come and tell to Prithu, because because these are all not the main avatars, like Narasimha Avataram, Rama Avataram, Krishna Avataram, or even Matsyam and Kurma Avataram, where Bhagavan knows who he is. He knows his potency. So these are all partial incarnations, right? Quick, light incarnations. So here, Prithu himself does not know his potency. So here Brahma had to come and tell Prithu, you are a partial incarnation of Bhagavan to do certain things. So he has to remind him here. So he comes and reminds Prithu of that. Brahma comes and reminds Prithu, and then they kind of come to a truce, because Prithu does not need any worry about Indra. So he tells Indra, don't worry, Prithu is not going to need the Indra Lokam. He is an incarnation for a specific purpose, which has already been, most of it was completed. So anyway, they reconcile there. And then here, Sakshatvam. So he says, oh, Guru Arpa, you yourself as Mahavishnu Narayana came there to bless Prithu and bless Indra, so that there is no conflict and everything is resolved. Devendram Muhurti Vajinam Harantam, Vannau Tam Munivara Mandale Juhushau Rundhane Kamala Bhave Kratoho, put is Kratos Samaptau Sakmama Sakshatvam Madhuripum, I'm just breaking at that Madhuripum Aikshataha, put is Aikshata Swayam Swam. Devendram Muhurti Vajinam Harantam Vannau Tam Munivaramandale Juhushau Rundhane Kamala Bhave Krato Samaptau Sakshatvam Madhuripumaikshatha Swayam Swam.
Devendram Muhuriti Vajinam Harantam Vannautam Munivara Mandale Juhushau Rundhane Kamala Bhave Krato Samaptau Sakshatvam Madhuripum Aikshata Swayam Swam. Devendram Mahurti Vajinam Harantam Vannautam Munivara Mandale Juhushau Rundhane Kamala Bhave Krato Samaptau Sakshatvam Madhuripum Aikshata Swayam Swam.
Hema, the first line, second word, Muhuriti.
Muhuriti.
Deven.
Go ahead.
And one now, and the second first
so
line.
And that's a common thing. One, first of all, it means Agni, okay, fire. That's what one ni means, Agni, fire. So in the Sanskrit, that ha is a silent ha. So some people, it's a half ha, but a silent half ha. So some people say it as wah now, emphasizing that half ha. Some people say one now. So it's not saying that half fully, but saying even that half also you don't say it fully. So it's either is okay, there is no right or wrong. It's different interpretations of ways of how to say it. So
Devendram Muhuriti Vajinam Harantam Vanhautam Munivara Mandale Juhushau Rundhane Kamala Bhave Krato Samaptau Sakshatvam Madhuripumaikshatha Swayam Swam. देवेन्द्रं मुहुरिति वाजिनं हरन्तं वह्नौ तं मुनिवरमण्डले जुहूषौ रुन्धाने कमलभवे क्रतोः समाप्तौ साक्षात् त्वं मधुरिपुमैक्षथा स्वयं स्वम्.
That's a nine. Tadhattam varamupalabhya bhaktimekam gangante vihitapadah kadapi deva satrastam muninivaham hitani shamsanne aikshishthasanakamukhan munin purastat. So when Swayam Narayana has come and asked Prithu, what do you want? He says, nothing is needed, because those are the realized beings, right, who don't want anything. And he says, all he wants is bhakti mekam. He says, just give me the blessings to be constantly devoted to you. So anyway, so with that, Prithu gets blessed, and then this reconciled between Indra and Prithu then, because he then rules for a really long time, bringing things to order, because with Vena and Anga, a lot of things had gone down. So Prithu had brought the stabilization, and then finally he then leaves to the forest, where he then goes and meets the Sanaka rishis, the Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, the four Sanaka rishis. He goes and meets them there on the banks of Ganges. Taddattam varam upalabhya bhakti mekam, gangante vihita padaha, put a h to join, vihita padah kadapi deva satrastam muni nivaham hitani shamsan, put a in at the end of that line and comma shamsan. Next line, if you have, it is in Sanskrit, if you have a double na and a I, it will go away, it will just become one I. Aichishtaha, and put the is to join. Aichishtas sanaka mukhan munin purastat. Tadhattam varamupalabhya bhakti mekam gangante vihitapadah kadapi deva satrastam muninivaham hitani shamsan aichishtasanaka mukhan munin purastat.
Taddattam varamupalava.
Varam upalabhya.
Okay. Taddattam varamupalabhya bhakti mekam gangante vihitapadah kadapi deva satrastam muninavaham hitani shamsan aikshishta sanaka mukhan munin purastat. Taddattam varamupalabhya bhakti mekam gangante vihitapadah kadapi deva sadrastam muninavaham hitani shamsan aikshishta sanakamukhan munin purastat.
The last line, aichishtas is sound.
Aikshishtas.
Rajesh, என்னோடதுல நைஷிஷ்டான்னு போட்டிருக்காது.
அதான் அந்த in comes to the third line, right? Shamsan. So when that in comes there, the next line, that double na I will go away. It will just become I. Aichishtas.
तद्दत्तं वरमुपलभ्य भक्तिमेकां गङ्गान्ते विहितपदः कदापि देवा सत्रस्थं मुनिनिवहं हितानि शंसन् ऐक्लिष्ठासनकमुखान् मुनीन् पुरस्तात्.
Fourth line, first word, aichishtas, ksha sound. Aichishtas.
Aiklishtash.
No, you're saying kla. It's ksha, K-S-H. Aichishtas.
Oh, kshista. Okay, somehow I thought L, right. Aikshista. Okay. तद्दत्तं वरमुपलभ्य भक्तिमेकां गङ्गान्ते विहितपदः कदापि देवा सत्रस्थं मुनिनिवहं हितानि शंसन् ऐक्षिष्ठासनकमुखान् मुनीन् पुरस्तात्.
That's it, then.
Rajesh, அந்த செகண்ட் லைன்ல இந்த இன்னொரு டைம் இந்த ஸ்திரஸ்தம் அந்த அது படிங்க சத்ரஸ்தம். ஓகே,
சத்ரஸ்தம். Got that's it. விஜ்ஞானம் சனகமுகோதிதம் ததானஹ ஸ்வாத்மானம் ஸ்வயமகமோ வனாந்தசேவி தத்தாத்ருக் Prutuvapurisha Satvaram me Roghaugam Prashamaya Vata Geha. So when we saw the Sanat Kumaras in the Dasakam 10 and all, we saw they were created because first Brahma had to create this, what do you call, the various deceptions, right? So that the souls will have to go in search. Otherwise, everybody will be born with the knowledge, right? So the Sanakas are the ones who are created to route people back to the right knowledge, which is what the Sanaka Rishis do to Prithu also, right? So that's why it kind of shows, even though Prithu is an incarnation, the Sanaka Rishis are more knowledgeable than Prithu, right? So they then teach the Prithu even more information that is to be known for self-realization, and eventually Prithu get that Prithu, your incarnation also goes and merges to you. That's why it says, Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi. You then realize your own nature of being one with Bhagavan, and then you go and get liberated. Oh, this way, oh Guruvarappa, who incarnated as Prithu. Please eradicate all the ailments I have. Vijnanam Sanaka Mukhoditam Dhadanaha, Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithu Vapurisha Satvaram me, Rogaugham Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin. Vijnanam Sanakamukhoditam Dhadhanaha Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithuvapurisha Satvaram me Rogaugham Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin.
Vijnanam Sanakamukhoditam Dadhanaha Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithuvapurisha Satvaram me Rogaugam Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin. Vijnanam Sanakamukhoditam Dadhanaha Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithuvapurisha Satvaram me Rogaugam Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin.
Vijnanam Sanakamukhoditam Dadhanaha Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithuvapurisha Satvaram me Raugogham Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin. Vijnanam Sanakamukhoditam Dadhanaha Swatmanam Swayamagamo Vananta Sevi Tattadrik Prithuvapurisha Satvaram me Rogaugham Prashamaya Vata Geha Vasin.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dasakam 19. Prachetasa Kathanu Varnanam. So, story about Prachetas. Prachetasa means of Prachetas. So, Prachetas is the name of that group of people. Stanza 1. Prutostu napta pritudharma karmataha prachina barhir yuvatau shatadhrutau prachetaso nama suchetasas sutan aji janatvat karunankuraniva. We'll see the importance of why do we have to learn about Prachetas. It will come only towards the end of the Dashakam. First of all, they were great devotees, but there is more to Prachetas than being devotees. So it will come towards the end. So this continues in the lineage, right? So just to kind of recap the lineage, we saw Swayam Brahma, from Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu marries Shatarupa. To them, Uttanapada is one of the sons. To Uttanapada, Dhruva was born. In Dhruva's lineage, Anga was born, which you saw last time. Anga's son was Vena. From Vena came Prithu. Vena's body came Prithu. Now, in Prithu's hierarchy, Prithu's Napta means Prithu's great grandson. So, you all know Vishnu Sahasranamam, Vyasam, Vasishtha Naptaram, Shakte, Pautram Kalmasham, because Vyasa is Vasishta's Napta, Vasishta's great grandson. So, grandson, son, great grandson. So, similarly, this Prithu's great grandson was a person. Now, that person, before I tell the name, I'm explaining what the person did because that's how he got his name. So he used to do a lot of yajnams because they all come in that lineage. And when he used to do this yajnam, he used to take this darbai grass, which is called as a barhi, and then he used to put the darbai grass in the east-west direction with the tip pointing towards the east. In every homam he performs, yajnam he performs. So because he takes the barhi, which is the darba, and puts it in the prachina direction, east direction, he was called as Prachina Barhishat. That's his name. Because he used to perform a lot of these yajnas by putting this darba grass in the east-west direction. That's why it's Prachina Barhir. It's coming in the second line there. So, that Prachina Barhir, he does a lot of this homam by putting this darba grass in the east-west directions. Then he's a very great person. So, to whom Brahma personally recommends to marry somebody who he marries, and to them are born 10 children. Those 10 children are together called as prachetas. The meaning of the prachetas means somebody who's very wise, somebody who's very conscious, who knows, who has all the knowledge and who's full of knowledge, right? So that is the meaning of the word prachetas. So those are the 10 children which are born to Prachina Barhishat and then his wife. Prutostu Napta Prutu Dharma Karmataha, comma, Prachina Barhir Yuvatau Shatadrutau. Shatadrutau is the name of his wife. Prachetaso Nama Suchetasaha. Put a is. Suchetasas Sutan in. Put a in at the end of that line. Sutan, comma. Next line, the na becomes a. Aji Janat Twat Karunang Kuraniva. They were already blessed with your compassion, O Gururpa, right from when they were born. Prutostu napta prutudharma karmataha.
Prachina Barhir.
Prutostu napta prutudharma karmataha. Prachina barhir yuvatau shatadrutau. Prachetaso nama suchetasas sutan. Aji janatvat karunang kuraniva.
Prutostu napta prutudharma karmataha. Prachina barhir yuvatau shatadrutau. Prachetaso nama suchetasas sutanu.
Yeah, suchetasas sutan.
Sutanu.
Sutan in.
Aji janatvat karunan kuraniva.
Fourth line, first word. Aji janat.
Aji janatvat karunan kuraniva. Pritostu napta prutudharma karmataha. Prachina barhir yuvatau shatadrutau. Pracheta sonama sucheta sassutanu. Aji janatvat karunan kuraniva.
Sutanu, you are saying on the third line. Suchetasas sutan in.
Suchetasas sutan. Ajinatvat.
पृथोस्तु नप्ता पृथुधर्मकर्मटः प्राचीनबर्हिर्युवतौ शतद्रुतौ प्रचेतसो नाम सुचेतसः सुतान् अजीजनत्वत्करुणाङ्कुरानिव पृथोस्तु नप्ता पृथुधर्मकर्मठः प्राचीनबर्हिर्युवतौ शतद्रुतौ प्रचेतसो नाम सुचेतसः सुतान् अजीजनत्वत्करुणाङ्कुरानिव.
Answer 2.
Excuse me, Rajesh.
That
பிரச்சேதசௌவா இல்லை பிராச்சேதசௌவா? இங்க பிராச்சேதசௌவா இருக்கு.
இல்ல அந்த the depends on, if you're talking about the stanza, it is prachetaso.
Oh, okay. அங்க வந்து பிராச்சேதசௌ இருக்கு.
The title will be Prachetasa Katha because it is of Prachetas.
செகண்ட் லைன்ல பிராச்சேதசௌ அந்த புக்ல இருக்கு பிராச்சேதசௌ.
இல்ல Prachetaso நாம. Okay.
Okay.
Answer 2. Pitusi sriksha niratasya shasanat bhavat tapasya bhirata dashapite Payonidhim paschimamethya tattate sarovaram sandadrishur manoharam. These Prachetas, they were very united. They were all, like I said, previous stanza itself, they were born with your blessings and your compassion. So their father, Prachina Barhishat, says that, for you all, first, before you do anything and grow the creation again, they're all in the lineage of creation. He says you have to go take the blessings and do a lot of austerities and meditation. So they go towards the Western Sea. And I'll tell you a little bit later of where this location is in the next stanza. But they go towards the Western Sea. And when they go towards that, they see this lake, a water body. And that water body is just extremely pious. Like some places, you just look at it and it just pours divinity, right? And so this particular water body was very calm and serene. And they felt that, this is the right place because the aquatic animals which lived in the water body also were very pious and peaceful. So they decided this is the place for us to meditate and do austerities. So they settled down there. The 10 Prachetas, they settled down there. Pituhu is Pitus Sisriksha Niratasya Shasanat plus Bhavat Tapasya Bhirata. That one word, Tapasya Bhirata Dashapite. So the first two lines together. Payonidham. Yeah.
Bhiratava, Niratava.
Bha, second bha, bhirata. If you have a na, just change it to a bha then. Bhirata dashapite. Payonidhim paschimametya tattate, sarovaram sandadrishur manoharam. I think this word also, some books had a different word, manohara. I forget what it was, but if you have something else, change it to manoharam. It just means beautiful, right? Beautiful lake. Pitossi sriksha niratasya shasanat bhavat tapasya bhirata dashapite payonidhim paschimametya tattate sarovaram sandadrishur manoharam.
Pitussi sriksha niratasya शासनात् அது பிளஸ் ரெண்டும் சேர்ந்து வரணும்.
शासनात् भवत् तपस्या
शासनात् भवत् तपस्या बिरता दशापिते पयोनिधिं पश्चिममेत्य तत्तटे सरोवरं सन्ददृशुर्मनोहरं पितुस्सृक्षात् निरतस्य शासनात् சாரி இது கஷ்டமா இருக்கு கொஞ்சம்.
Shasana, just take it down a notch again. Pitussi sriksha niratasya shasanat bhavat tapasya.
Pitussi sriksha niratasya shasanat bhavat tapasya birata dashapite payonidhim paschimamethya tattate sarovaram sandadrishur manoharam.
पितुस्सि सृक्षा निरतस्य शासनात् भवत्तपस्याभिरता दशापिते पयोनिधिं पश्चिममेत्य तत्तटे सरोवरं सन्ददृशुर्मनोहरं दृशुर्मनोहरम् पितुस्सि सृक्षा निरतस्य शासनात् भवत्तपस्याभिरता दशापिते पयोनिधिं पश्चिममेत्य तत्तटे सरोवरं सन्ददृशुर्मनोहरम्.
Answer 3. Tadha bhavattirtamidam samagato bhavo bhavatsevakadarshanadrataha prakashamasadya purah prachetasa upadishad bhaktatamasstavastavam. So here, when Bhaktirpad is describing this water body, he says, Guruvayurappa, this is your Bhavat Tirtham Idam, your water body which is here, right? So some people interpret that it is somewhere in the Guruvayur area because that is a very Punya Kshetram, and I'll tell you one more reason why it could be, because that is also close to the Arabian Sea and all of that. But the most important one is when the Prachetas start meditating there, so Swayam Bhagavan Shiva comes there in front of them, right? Like, so that's where, if you go to Guruvayur, there's a place called Mammiyur, which existed before Guruvayur was there. So the Mammiyur Shiva temple, used to be extremely famous, even older than Guruvayur temple. But then once Guruvayur came there, that Mammur got overshadowed, that people don't even visit that, but that temple is older than Guruvayur temple. Anyway, so that's what the interpretation of this stanza is, that it is somewhere in that region, because that Mammur is a very, very old Shiva temple. And so here, so in front of this Prachetas, so Shiva and Parvati appear. And Shiva says, I know who you are. You are all the sons of Prachina Barkishat. You are here for meditating. So he then teaches them something called as a Rudra Gita. It is 44 stanzas of Rudra Gita, which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's not detailed here. So he teaches that 44 stanzas and says, this is the prayer that Brahma prayed also. So, all of them have done this as they were doing this austerities. So because if you are doing it, he says, I recommend you do this prayer, right, as you're doing your austerities, because this is a very powerful one, right? So Shiva Swayam teaches those prayers to the Prachetas and tells them to meditate on that. Tada bhavat tirtamidam samagato, bhavo bhavat sevaka darshanadritaha prakashamasadya puraha, put a if, puraf prachetasam, put a im at the end of that line, prachetasam, next line the mu becomes a u, upadishat bhakta tamas tava sthavam, tada bhavatirtamidam samagato bhavo bhavat sevaka darshanadritaha prakashamasadya purah prachetasam upadishat bhakta tamas tava sthavam.
Tada bhavattirtamidham samagato bhavo bhavat sevaka darshanadritaha prakashamasadya purah prachetasam upadishat bhakta tamastavastvam tada
Bhakta tamas tava stavam.
Bhakta tamastavastvam tada bhavattirtamidam samagato bhavo bhavat sevaka darshanadritaha prakashamasadya pura prachetasam upadishat bhakta tamastavam.
तदा भवत्तीर्थमिदं समागतो भवो भवत्सेवकदर्शनादृतः प्रकाशमासाद्यः पुरः प्रचेतसाम् उपादिशद्भक्ततमस्तवस्तवम् तदा भवत्तीर्थमिदं समागतो भवो भवत्सेवकदर्शनादृतः प्रकाशमासाद्य पुरः प्रचेतसाम् उपादिशद्भक्ततमस्तवस्तवम्.
We'll switch halfway here. Sudha, you can be a student, and Sita Lakshmi, you can. Saxophone. Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishata yutam samaha bhavatsukha swadarasadhami shviyan bhabuva kalo dhruvavanna shikrata. So in 14 we saw Kardama meditating for 10,000 years. So here the Prachetas also meditate for 10,000 years, except they meditate underwater in that lake. So we're going to see a couple of instances where people literally are sitting underwater meditating. One of them is the Prachetas. They do it for 10,000 years. Then in Dasakam 54, we'll see a rishi called Saubhari. That Saubhari is going to meditate for a long time in the waters of Yamuna, underwater. Right? So that was something they could sit underwater for 10,000 years and meditate. Now, I said in the last class about when Dhruva was meditating, Bhagavan then showed up in 5 months. But here, Bhadrapad is referring, and he specifically says, Bhabuva Kalo Dhruvavanna Shikrata. He says, Krishna, for Dhruva, you came in 5 months. But for Prachetas, who are meditating underwater, 10,000 years pass. No, Bhagavan has still not showed a darshan, right? And the reason for that is not because of the intensity of the tapas or the intent. It is because the Prachetas were enjoying the meditation so much that they actually they did not want Bhagavan to come. See, that's the important thing, right? In Dhruva's case, Dhruva had a very clear goal. He wanted, when he started off, he wanted to then become the supreme king. So he meditated with a specific purpose. So he wanted that outcome to happen sooner. In this case, the Prachetas were just so blissful in their state of meditation that they were okay with Bhagavan not coming also. They were just enjoying the journey. Bhagavan said, that's fine. You take your time. So they meditate for 10,000 years. And then eventually later on, Bhagavan will come later. Stavam japantas tamami jalantare, comma, bhavantam, I'm just breaking at that, bhavantam ase vishatayutam, one word, ase vishatayutam samaha, bhavat sukhaswada rasada mishviyan, cannot break it too much, bhavat sukhaswada rasada mishviyan, comma, babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata. Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishatayutam samaha bhavat sukaswada rasadamishviyan bhabuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata.
Rajesh, ஒரு question. அந்த ஸ்தவம் ஜபந்தம் மமின்ட்டு போட்டிருக்கு. அதுதானே?
Japantastamami இருக்கணும். Is இருக்கணும். Is sound, is letter should be there. Japan, if you have Japantaha, in case you have, instead of the visarga, you can add a is there, but it becomes Japantastamami.
Bhavat sukha swad.
Yeah, go ahead to that.
Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishitayutam samaha bhavat sukha swadarasadameeshviyan babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata. Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishitayutam samaha bhavat sukha swadarasadameeshviyan babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata.
To the second line, bhavantamase vishata. You say she, you're saying vishatayutam.
Inga?
Second line, bhavantamase vishatayutam.
Oh, inge vandu bishi போட்டிருக்கு.
Okay, just change it to sha. I don't know why they put she there.
And Rajesh, one more question. First line, stavam japantas tamami jalantera, Sanskrit jalantera இருந்தது.
இல்ல தப்பது. So this is what you call print mistake. Jala antare, inside the water. Jalantare.
Can I say it again?
Okay, yeah, go once more. Go ahead, yeah.
Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishatayutam samaha bhavat sukha swadarasadameeshviyan babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata.
Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantamase vishatayutam sama bhavat sukha swadarasadameeshviyan babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata.
The second line, samaha visarga is there.
Oh, okay.
Second line, yeah.
Samaha. Stavam japantastamami jalantare bhavantam ase vishatayutam samaha bhavat sukha swadarasadameeshviyan babhuva kalo dhruvavanna shigrata.
That's a fine. Tapo bhiresham atimatravardhibihi sayagnya himsa nirato pipavitah pitha pitesham grihayata narada pradarshidhatma bhavadatmatam yayo. So while these Prachetas 10 sons are undergoing this intense penance underwater for 10,000 years, well, that is going on with intensity, their father Prachina Barkishat continues to do all that home yajna that he was doing. So one day Narada goes to meet Prachina Barkishat and he tells he explains, because, a lot of the times, sometimes what happens is you get so sucked into doing something that you miss the bigger context, right? So these are called as activities which you're doing to get something in return, right? Very fruitive activities. So Narada goes and explains to Parikshit that you are doing all these things expecting something in return, and for that, to expect that something in return, you are committing some sins, which is you are sacrificing animals. So you're saying you're sacrificing animals and then you're doing these things and you're expecting to get something in return. He says both are bad. And then he shows how all the dead animals which have been killed for the purpose of sacrifice are all waiting for Prachina Parikshit to die, because they are all going to eventually, he has to pay for all of those, right? Nothing that you do is going to go unnoticed, or everything is going to have an effect, right? So Narada explains this to Prachina Parikshit, and he tells you don't need to do all these fruitive activities, because by doing this you're going to get things in return, positive things in return. And then you got to take birth again to enjoy those positive things, which means you're going to commit more negative things in return. So he says this becomes a cycle, right? So he then explains to him how you got to do these things without expecting anything in return, or go in a completely different margam. Anyway, so he explains all of that to Prachina Parikshit, and then Narada explains it. And then with that, once Prachina Parikshit gets that knowledge, then he then gets liberated eventually. He follows the path that Lord Narada teaches him, and then eventually gets liberated. Tapobhireshamati matra. So tapobhireshamati matra vardhibihi, sa yajna himsa niratopi pavitah pitapi tesham grihayata narada, put a plus, pradarshithatma bhavadatmatam yayau. तपोभिरेषामतिमात्रवर्धिभिः स यज्ञहिंसा निरतोऽपि पावितः पितापि तेषां गृहयात नारद प्रदर्शितात्मा भवदात्मतां ययौ.
तपोभिरेषामतिमात्रवर्धितिः स यज्ञहिंसा निरतोऽपि पावितः पितापि तेषां गृह्यात नारद प्रदर्शितात्मा भवदात्मतां ययौ. तपोभिरेषामतिमात्रवर्धितिः स यज्ञहिंसा निरतोऽपि पावितः पितापि तेषां गृह्यात नारद प्रदर्शितात्मा भवदात्मतां ययौ.
In the third line, a small correction. Grihayatma. Grihayat.
तेषां गृह्यात पितापि तेषां गृह्यात नारद
And the ha, you are just making it a half ha when you're saying it. It's a full ha, right?
Grihaya. Grihaya. Okay.
Yeah.
Grihayat narada.
तपोभिरेषामतिमात्रवर्धिभिः स यज्ञहिंसा निरतोऽपि पावितः पितापि तेषां गृहयात नारद प्रदर्शितात्मा भवदात्मतां ययौ. तपोभिरेषामतिमात्रवर्धिभिः स यज्ञहिंसा निरतोऽपि पावितः पितापि तेषां गृहयात नारद प्रदर्शितात्मा भवदात्मतां ययौ.
6.
ராஜேஷ், இந்த கிரஹயாத நாரதக்கு அப்புறம் நாரத இருக்கா அதுல?
இல்ல, விசர்கா இல்ல. No விசர்கா. நாரத பிரதர்ஷிதாத்மா. Just a plus there. கிருபா பலேனைவ புரः பிரச்சேதசாம் பிரகாசமாகாः பதகேந்திரவாஹனः விராஜி சக்ராதி வராயுதாம்சுபிः உதஞ்சிதத்யுதிः. So finally, after 10,000 years of meditation, Bhagavan then comes in front of Prachetas, and he comes to different, like I said, depending on how you are worshipping and what form, that form is taken. So here he comes in Bhujabir Ashtabihi. So he comes with 8 arms. So he comes with, Bhagavan comes with 8 arms instead of the normal Chaturbhujam. So he comes with 8 arms mounted on the Patagendra, Pataga Indra, the king of birds, Garuda. So mounted on Garuda with 8 arms, Bhagavan then shows in front of them. And then, of course, the Prachetas sees And then they're all in a state of bliss. They do all the prayers at that time. Kripa balenaiva puraha, put a F, purah prachetasam, comma.
This book, it says Tataha.
Inga, where?
Kripa bale naiva Tataha போட்டிருக்கு இங்க.
Tataha prachetasama.
Amam.
Oh, it's pura before prachetas. So can you change it to puraha?
Puraha. Okay.
And then put an F to join that. Purah prachetasam, which means in front of prachetas. Prachetasam, comma. Prakasham agaha. Again put a F to join. Prakasham agaf patagendra vahanaha. Viraji chakradi varayudham shubhihi. Visargan, comma. Varayudham shubhihi. Next line, if you have a ir on top of the bhu, that will go away. So this word, I'm going to try to break it into 4 parts. If you feel it easier, do it that way, or you can say the whole thing together as well. Bhujabhir ashtabhir udanchita dhyutihi. Bhujabhir ashtabhir udanchita dhyutihi. Kripa balenaiva purah prachetasam prakashamagaf patagendra vahanaha viraji chakradi varayudham shubhihi bhujabhirashtabhirudanchita dhyutihi.
Kripa balenaiva purah prachetasam prakashamagaf patagendra vahanaha viraji chakradi varayudham shubhi bhujavirashtabhirudanchita yudhi
Birudanchita
bhujavirashta
Birudan. I'm going to Biru.
Birudanchita yudhi Birudanchita yudhihi. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Birudanchita dyutihi. Kripa balenaiva purah prachetasam prakashamagaf patagendra vahanaha viraji chakradi varayudham shubhi bhujabhirashta birudanchita dyutihi.
And the third line, you shubhihi visarga. Third line end.
Subirgi, right?
Yama varayudham shubhihi.
Subirgi.
Subirgi.
Rajesh, sorry, last line and the split இன்னொரு வாட்டி படிங்களேன்.
Bhujabhir. Okay, so bhuja is referring to the arms, right? So bhujabhir ashtabhir 8. Ashtabhir udanchita dhyutihi.
I thought you said to take out the ir in the bhu.
Yeah, other bhuk male ir will go away. That becomes a visarga in the third line.
Okay, so then it will be viraji chakradi varayudham shubhihi bhujabhirashta birudanchita dyutihi.
Correct, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And the ir will remain if you say the whole thing together, and then you say that, chakradi varayudham shubhir bhujabhirashta, then the ir will come. Otherwise, that ir becomes a visarga.
So
the third line. Yeah.
Together, we can say it in one word with the ir.
I mean, you can, but then everybody cannot say it, so we break it so that it's consistent for everybody, right? But yeah, that's why the visarga is there.
Okay.
Kripa balenaiva purah prachetasam prakashamagaf patagendra vahanaha viraji chakradi varayudham shubhihi pujabhir ashtabhirudanchita dyutihi. Kripa balenaiva purah prachetasam prakashamagaf patagendra vahanaha viraji chakradi varayudham shubhihi bhujabhirashtabhirudanchita dyutihi.
So 7.
Sorry, Rajesh, one more. Third line, Virajya Varajya.
Viraji.
Viraj. Okay.
प्रचेतसां तावदया च तामपि त्वमेव कारुण्यभराद्वरानधाः भवद्विचिन्तापि शिवाय देहिनां भवत्वसौ रुद्रनुतिश्च कामधा. So even before the Prachetas could say anything, of course, Bhagavan knows what's in everybody's mind. So he says, first thing he says is, I'm very pleased with that kind of the relationship you 10 brothers have amongst each other. They've been doing things together and doing in that satsangam for 10,000 years, right? He says, with that, the friendship that you all have amongst yourself is a great fortune by itself, right? And then he says, whoever remembers the story of the Prachetas and how they all stuck together with a common motive, with the motive being prayers and getting towards that towards Bhagavan, will not have any enmity. Will have, because that's the core point is to build that satsangam of people who have a common objective, right? So they are not fighting amongst each other. These 10 brothers, they all are working towards a common cause. That is number one. And then he praises the Rudra Gita, which was taught to them, and says, whoever remembers and chants the Rudra Gita in the morning and the evening will get great benefits and intelligence, right? So the conversation goes for 2 stanzas. In this stanza, that's what he says. Prachetasam thavada yacha tamapi. One word. Thavada yacha tamapi, comma. Tvameva karunya bharadvaranadaha bhavat vichintapi shivaya dehinam, comma. Bhavatvasau Rudranutischa Kamada. Prachetasam tavadaya chatamapi Tvameva karunya bharadvaranadhaha Bhavat vichintapi shivaya dehinam Bhavatvasau Rudranutischa Kamada.
प्रचेतसां तावदया च तामपि त्वमेव कारुण्यभराद्वरानदाः भवद्विचिन्तापि शिवाय देहिनां भवत्वसौ रुद्रनुतिश्च कामदा अनुतिश्च कामदा प्रचेतसां तावदया च तामपि त्वमेव कारुण्यभराद्वरानदाः भवद्विचिन्तापि शिवाय देहिनां भवत्वसौ
ஒரே word Rudranutischa.
भवत्वसौ रुद्रनुतिश्च कामदा.
Oh, sorry, Sita Lakshmi mute lirken.
Sorry. प्रचेतसां तावदया च तामपि त्वमेव कारुण्यभराद्वरानदाः भवद्विचिन्तापि शिवाय देहिनां भवद्वसौ रुद्रनुतिश्च कामदा. प्रचेतसां तावदया च तामपि त्वमेव कारुण्यभराद्वरानदाः भवद्विचिन्तापि शिवाय देहिनां भवद्वसौ रुद्रनुतिश्च कामदा.
Once again. Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadhvam dashalakshavatsariim sutostu daksho nanu takshanachamam prayasyate tinyagato mudaivatan. So the another blessings Bhagavan does, he does another matchmaking here. So he says, because somebody who has meditated for 10,000 years, you have to get the appropriate companion. They also have to be equally spiritual or equally, otherwise it won't match, right? So he then recommends one person they have to marry, and that's going to come in the next stanza. And then say, once you all marry, then you all will live together for several 1,000 years together. And then you are going to get a son who's going to be Daksha. And I'll explain who that is in the last stanza, because that's when it comes. But then he says, to you will be born Daksha, right? And then that's the message that Bhagavan gives. Now, the same thing of this Prachetas 10 marrying one, right? The question comes, how can 10 people marry one lady, right? When in Mahabharata, when the Pandavas come, and then Draupadi's thing is happening, they come to Kunti says, yeah, marry, and then they're like, how can 5 of us marry one? They go to Krishna, and Krishna says, Krishna, is there a precedent of something like this, as like multiple people marrying one lady, right? So Krishna then refers the Pracheta story and says, now it doesn't mean everybody can, 5 people can marry one. But the point being that if you're so spiritual and you're so united, then these materialistic things don't matter much. So this is to say that when we are so elevated souls, like these Prachetas are, and they all have one common objective, then they are not different from each other, right? And in that case, Krishna tells the Pandavas, you all 5 are so united and so together like the Prachetas. So you do have a precedent that has already been set of who can do this and why it needs to be done. It all depends on the purpose and things. It cannot be misinterpreted here, right? That's why I'm kind of bringing this up. But that's the precedent that Krishna tells later on to Kunti. But anyway, here Bhagavan tells the Prachetas, you go marry this one person. Avapya kantam tanayam mahiruham, taya ramadhvam dashalaksha vatsarim sutostu daksho nanu tat kshanachamam. I'm just breaking it for easy. Tat kshanachamam, prayasyateti nyagato mudaivatan. Then eventually you will all come and reach me. You will all come and attain me, get liberated. Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadhvam dashalakshavatsarim sutostu daksho nanu takshanachamam prayasyateti nyagato mudaivatan.
Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadvam dashalakshavatsarim stutostu daksho nanu takshanachamam prayasyateti nyagato mudaivatan. Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadvam dashalakshavatsarim stutostu daksho nanu takshanachamam prayasyateti nyagato mudaivatan.
Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadvam dashalakshavatsarim sutostu daksho nanutakshanaachamam prayasyateti nyagado mudaivatan. Avapyakantam tanayam mahiruham taya ramadvam dashalakshavatsarim sutostu daksho nanutakshanaachamam prayasyateti nyagado mudaivatan.
That's right. Tataschate bhutalarodhinastarun kruda dahanto druhine navaritaha drumaischa dattam tanayam avapyatam twadukta kalam sukhino bhiremire. So when the Prachetas come out after 10,000 years, they see that, because their father Prachina Barkisha that far, long before gone. So again, like with what happened with that Vena, Nanga, things were all not taken care of. There were trees growing everywhere, and the entire earth was like filled with trees. So what these Prachetas do is, it says with their yogic power, they end up burning. They try to burn everything because there's no place. So at that time, Brahma intervenes. I don't know too much the context behind that, but Brahma intervenes and tells them not to burn it and the importance of all of that. Anyway, so the Prachetas then settle down. They marry this person called as Marisa, Maarisa. So they marry her, and then they live for a long time. And Daksha is going to be born in the next stanza. So they then live together for a long time happily. Tataschate bhutala rodhinas tarun, kruda dahanto druhinena varitaha drumaischa dattam tanayam avapyatham, twadukta kalam sukhino bhiremire. That word will come together because that S symbol is there. So the whole word is together. Sukhino bhiremire. Tataschate bhutala rodhinastarun krudha dahanto druhinena varitaha drumaischa dattam tanayam avapyatam twadukta kalam sukhino bhiremire.
Tataschate bhutalaro
Bhutalarodhi.
ततश्च ते भूतलरोदिनस्तरून् कृदा दहन्तो द्रुहिणेन वारिताः द्रुमश्च दत्तां तनयामवाप्यतां त्वदुक्तकालं सुखिनोभिरेमिरे ततश्च ते भूतलरोदिनस्तरून् कृदा दहन्तो द्रुहिणेन वारिताः द्रुमैश्च दत्तां तनयामवाप्यतां त्वदुक्तकालं सुखिनोभिरेमिरे
ततश्च भूतलरोधिनस्तरून् कृतो दहन्तो द्रुहिणेन वारिताः द्रुमैश्च दत्तां तनयामवाप्यतां त्वदुक्तकालं सुखिनोभिरेमिरे.
On the first line, Tataschate.
Okay. ततश्च ते भूतलरोधिनस्तरून् क्रुधा दहन्तो द्रुहिणेन वारिताः द्रुमैश्च दत्तां तनयामवाप्यतां त्वदुक्तकालं सुखिनोभिरेमिरे.
Avapya daksham cha sutam kridadvaraha pracetaso naradhalabdhaya dhiya avapurananda padam tata vidaha tvamisha vatalayanatha pahimam. So in Dasakam, 18, we in 16, when we saw the Narayanayana, we saw towards the end of the Daksha Yajnam, right? Where then Daksha was then, Sati then self-immolated, Daksha's head was then removed by Veerabhadra, then it was replaced, and then he conducted that Yajnam towards the end. So because of all the things that Daksha did, he had come directly from Brahma, but then he didn't follow the appropriate things. So he had to take a rebirth. And the birth is, like they say that just being born itself is a curse. Okay. So even if you do not live this life as human, just to be in the womb of a mother and to come out is considered a curse. Is considered like you are having to suffer through it, right? So that's a curse that Daksha gets, that he now, instead of being born from Brahma without having to go through that, he has to be born from the womb of a person, right? That is the curse that Daksha is getting, because of which to Prachetas, to the 10 Prachetas and to that Marichi, Daksha is born again, right? He's taking a second incarnation of his birth is happening. And there's a huge Daksha Charitram we're going to see of the second birth of Daksha in Dasakam 23. It's going to come about what happens to that Daksha and how he grows the population. But in this point, Daksha is born to this Prachetas again, right? That's because of the curse he got of doing what he did then. And then eventually the Prachetas, they then attained liberation through self-inquiry. Again, Narada is coming. Narada is the greatest of the gurus. So he comes and teaches them the knowledge of understanding the true Brahman, which the Prachetas do. They already had bhakti. So bhakti combined with jnanam, which is the best path of self-realization, combined with devotion, which the Prachetas do. And then they eventually get liberated as well. Avapya daksham cha sutam kritadvaraha, Pracetaso Narada Labdhaya Dhiya Avapurananda Padam Tatha Vidaha. Put a visarga comma, Tatha Vidaha. Next line.
Avapuranandava Paranandava.
Pu. Avapurananda. Purananda Padam Tatha Vidaha, comma. Next line is goes away. Tvamisha Vatalaya Natha Pahima. So Guru Arpa, please protect me as well. Pahima. Avapyadaksham chasutam kritadvaraha pracetaso naradhalabdhaya diya avapurananda padam tata vidaha tvamisha vatalayanatha pahimam.
अवाप्यदक्षं च सुतं कृताद्वराः प्रचेतसो नारदलब्धया धिया अवापुरानन्दपदं तथाविदः त्वमीश वातालयनाथ पाहि माम् अवाप्यदक्षं च सुतं कृताद्वराः प्रचेतसो नारदलब्धया धिया अवापुरानन्दपदं तथाविदः त्वमीश वातालयनाथ पाहि माम्
अवाप्य दक्षं च सुतं कृताध्वराः प्रचेतसो नारदलब्धया धिया अवापुरानन्दपदं तथाविदः त्वमीश वातालयनाथ पाहि माम् अवाप्य दक्षं च सुतं कृताध्वराः प्रचेतसो नारदलब्धया धिया अवापुरानन्दपदं तथाविदः त्वमीश वातालयनाथ पाहि माम्.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. The class here. Sandhanandhavamodhatmakamanupamitam kaladeshavadibhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamasata sahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtamatre punarurupurushartatmakam brahma tattvam tattavad bhati sakshat gurupavanapure anta भाग्यं जनानां कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Rajesh.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.